The research is really clear. There are some excellent supplements to lower fatigue and increase energy. And I'm talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of studies. And here we're focusing on not the day-to-day, I feel a bit tired today because I partied too much, but more the chronic, the weeks, the months, and even years. So there is no doubt we can. Now, before we get into the supplements, so it's really important to understand two driving forces behind fatigue. And the first one is inflammation. Inflammation is the cornerstone of all of our chronic illnesses. So if you have any form of chronic illness, then more than likely you've got inflammation and you've got a bit of fatigue from it as well. And we need to address inflammation when it comes to the supplements as well. And then the second one is the metabolic and mitochondrial dysfunction. Your mitochondria are the cells in our cells that produce the energy. They're called organelles. And these organelles, called the mitochondria, generate all of the energy that enable us to do this, to me to speak to you, to think, feel, act, behave, to get out of bed. And so all of those things rely on the mitochondria functioning properly. So what is it that blocks these two major functions? Now, there's lots of other factors, but the major ones are things like pharmaceuticals, stress, toxins. Absolutely, I'll have some more information on toxins, gut as well. Gut dysbiosis leads to inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction, and poor nutrition and diet. At the end of the day, we know from all of the studies there, the higher quality, more nutritionally dense diets lead to lower rates of fatigue and improved energy outcomes when people move across to those healthier diets. With supplementation, what we're trying to do is lower the inflammation and also get the mitochondria functioning as best they can through lowering inflammation, lowering oxidation, and providing with all the nutrients they need to do the right metabolism. So it starts with vitamin A and D. These are both fat-soluble vitamins. That means they actually store in the body, so you can build up a store of them. And vitamin D, you would know, is you also get that from the sun, which is the best source of it. But there's a lot of research on both vitamin A, supplementing people who have fatigue, chronic fatigue, with vitamin A and D. You can also get these two tested. The two other vitamins that show up in terms of nutrition and fatigue are vitamin C, and that vitamin C isn't just the antioxidant, which is really important because it's anti-inflammatory here, but vitamin C plays critical roles in lots of enzyme reactions and the production of energy. So you need vitamin C. But like vitamin C and B, it's short-term, they're water soluble. So what you take in one day can be out in a day or two's time. So they move through the body quickly. We need to constantly replace them, and ideally over the period of, our eating period and so on. So vitamin C, I take 3 grams of vitamin C. And if you look up the Orthomolecular Society, they'll talk about having lots more. And if you've got energy depletion, then they're talking even lots more. The B vitamins here, we're talking about a full complement vitamin B that includes B1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 12. I didn't want to go through all the names and descriptions of them, but they're all involved in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of processes throughout the body, including energy production and neurotransmission. So all of the movement of the messages around the body, the speed at which they go, is altered by the B vitamins. So absolutely critical. Now you get those in the nuts and the seeds and lots of the foods, but remember we need to replace those every single day. And also remember that when you're stressed, when you've got an illness, when you've got a pain, when you're exposed to a toxin, whenever you're just emotionally, psychological or physically stressed, you deplete nutrients a lot quicker than average. So a lot quicker. And I did a lot of research on these decades ago to show that people who have a lot of stress in their life have really low levels of vitamins and minerals. So we need to replace those at a higher level. Then we get onto the minerals. Minerals act like a chain reaction. They start the process off in what are called coenzyme factors. So zinc is really critical, involved in a couple of hundred biochemical reactions, particularly to do with energy. So you need lots and lots of zinc. And one of the disappointing things is zinc, along with a few other ones here I'll mention, decline generally with age. Now, I don't think it's really age. I think it's just poor digestion and food. In fact, zinc is well known if you're not digesting properly, you've got reflux or any of the gut issues, then you're probably not getting enough zinc or iron or other minerals from the digestive system. Fortunately, I have a video on that one, so please subscribe to the channel. Check out all the videos I've got because they put this complete picture together. Then we've got magnesium. Magnesium, you all know that if you're magnesium deficient, you start to cramp because magnesium is critical for muscle function. And guess where you've got the most mitochondria? In your muscle. And that's what you want to be able to function properly. So magnesium supplementation. Bicarbonate is an unusual one, and this is sodium bicarbonate, and again I've got a big video on that one. Have a look at it. It's had heaps and heaps of views, and people don't understand it, but if you're slightly acidic, your body can't function properly. The enzymes just don't work at the speed they should, and you get fatigued. And I've had this, so people come up and tell me so many times, at the end of the day, if you've been on a 21st century diet, stress and so on, you'll probably have depleted your bicarbonate store. And recently, a close member came up to me, friends came up and said, look, I'm old, I'm 85, I'm feeling fatigued, really tired, got a lot of pain. And I said, try a little bit of magnesium and bicarb. So that was adding that one and that one. That's why I put them together first thing in the morning before you wake up. So you wake up, mix them up a little bit, half a teaspoon each, mix them up. And he couldn't believe the difference in literally in 3 days it was. And as a result of that, everybody else around him is doing the same. It's a little mix of bicarb and magnesium. Why? Magnesium for the energy and so on, bicarb for enabling the body to alkalize. Now, here's a classic example. If you're an athlete and you're doing long distance running or anything like that, you know you get acidosis, lactic acid buildup. It makes your muscles tired and sore. The same thing happens. If you've got brain fog from gut conditions like SIBO or anything like that, then it's probably bicarbonate because you're not getting enough of it to alkalize your blood enough to be able to, so you need to actually look at it. And again, I've got lots of information on my video about that, and a really simple one. They thought it was all to do with old age, and literally after a week now, they say, look, I can't believe the difference. It's just so it can be so simple. Then you've got research showing omega-3 fatty acids, they're the fish oils, and of course coenzyme Q10. Now, coenzyme Q10 is literally the energy molecule. That's the one in the mitochondria that is critical for all of the mitochondrial function. It's a potent antioxidant. And the research shows that if you take that, you dramatically reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease, heart attack, strokes, arterial disease, and a whole raft of other things. And of course, your cholesterol-lowering medications generally lower coenzyme Q10, hence why those medications are linked with fatigue. So if you look at all these, and also this is another one, CoQ10, that declines with age. And so anyone over about 35, I used to say 45 and 50, now I say 35, supplementing with coenzyme Q10. Absolutely brilliant in terms of helping regain energy, long-term energy. And then we've got, first of all, my statement is the research shows low protein diets, and I'm not talking a huge protein diet is, eat meat all day. I'm talking protein, vegetable, meat, mixtures, combinations, whatever you want to do. But low protein diets generally lead to increased fatigue. That's what the research shows. And one of the reasons is there's been a number of studies show that these 3 amino acids, carnitine, methionine, and tryptophan, are very important in terms of energy, and when supplemented with in various studies on chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia and health-related energy depletion and fatigue and chemotherapy-related energy and fatigue, they were shown to have benefits there. So adding those, I would make sure you get a good combination of amino acids in general, particularly as you age. Again, digestion of proteins becomes a little bit more difficult if you don't have the right stomach acid, so we get depleted in it pretty quickly. And then melatonin is my favorite. Melatonin is this potent antioxidant. It's actually in the cells. It gets into your cells, and wherever damage is created, e.g. when you burn energy in your body, it's like you're burning it in a household, you're creating some smoke, some free radicals, okay? Same thing happens in your cell. Melatonin and coenzyme Q10 are in there, in the cells, to actually stop the oxidation occurring and the inflammation and the shutting down of the mitochondria. So that's why they're so important. But you must bear in mind that your body produces melatonin also from tryptophan. Now, unfortunately, these two are hard to get in some countries like Australia and New Zealand, which is absolutely ridiculous because your body produces them anyway. And produces this one. What you want to do is get some supplements with melatonin, because it's not for the sleep, it's for all the other things they do around your body, including improving digestion, reducing reflux, a whole raft of things. But in this case, also improving your energy levels. And then the final one is the kind of the new one on the block in terms of research, but a huge amount of research in it because there are some patents involved in it. And it's a nicotinamide adenine nucleotide, also known as NAD and NADH, show up as being beneficial in terms of chronic fatigue, long-term depletion of energy and vitality. So I've given you this whole picture of what the current science shows. However, I want to go back and make sure that you understand it's really, really important to make sure you get the diet and your lifestyle right as well.